What they yelling? Straight up. Podcast straight up. Podcast straight up. They don't really like the truth, but I'ma talk to them straight up. Podcast, just give it to them raw. They don't really like the truth, but I'ma talk to them straight up. Podcast, just give it to them raw. My hat tipped, I'm sipping steady with my pinky out. They say I got a slicky mouth, however, substantial information gets put out. So let's talk and pay attention, cause constructive criticism can add value to your life. If only you would listen, trying to add some policy in life. I'm trying to make sure you glisten, it's a judgment-free zone. You gotta be open-minded, comprehension and understanding. I refuse to let y'all be blinded. They don't really like the truth, but I'ma talk to them. Podcast straight up. Podcast straight up. Just give it to them raw. They don't really like the truth, but I'ma talk to them straight up. Podcast straight up. Podcast straight up. Just give it to them raw.
There it's Mitchell Beats.
Just give it to them raw, yeah, just like that. Go ahead and spit bars while you tip that hand. I ain't never seen a podcast like that, cause I built it from scratch, every part, no cap. But straight up, it can't be duplicated. It's too sophisticated, specifically designed to make your broad crave it. Every morning waiting, in anticipation. They love the high cheekbones in the conversation. Ooh, he goes deep. They supposed to be at work, but twerking in AC. Work for me. Straight up, oh, you got live guests? Yeah, absolutely. The best topics, buddy. All the ones that's juicy. I got them yelling straight up. Straight up. Affirmations, wake them up. Wake them up. I got them yelling straight up. Straight up. I spit bars and wake them up. Straight up. And straight up. And straight up. And straight up. And just give it to them raw. And straight up. And straight up. And straight up. And just give it to them raw. Just give it to them raw. What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? I know it's a little different. I'm used to being on in the morning, but you know what I'm saying? I had a couple technical difficulties this morning, so I said, you know what? It wouldn't be me if I deprived the people of a show, and I always get so many people asking me to run a show in the evening. So I said, you know what? I'm going to run one this evening. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to run one this evening. So that is what we about to do. And I ain't giving on how the show goes tonight. I don't know how it's going to go because I didn't get to do no normal promotion or nothing like that like I usually do. So it ain't too many people even probably know that I'm on tonight, but hey, ain't nothing like a good old pop-up, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like a good old pop-up, you know, to get the juices flowing, you know what I'm saying? And just because it's nighttime don't mean that I'm not about to do some straight up affirmations, baby. That's right. Every single show, and whether it's in the morning or the night, every single show, we gonna do some straight up affirmations, baby. I know y'all ain't used to me at night, but y'all might as well tune in. What else y'all got better to do than to hear some good word and some substance and some awareness? And listen, every single show we start with positive affirmations, and tonight ain't gonna be no different. We call them straight up affirmations, baby. Is y'all ready? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Straight up affirmations, and we gonna do them energy affirmations. Since tonight's topic is energy vampires, we gonna do some energy affirmations, baby. Every cell in my body vibrates with peace and positive energy. Ooh, wee. Every cell in my body is happy, healthy, relaxed, and at peace. I wake up feeling refreshed and restored. I am flowing with energy. I exercise daily to create immense energy. My spirit is animated and I feel young and youthful. I feel totally invigorated by each positive action that I take. I appreciate the kindness of others and want to repay their generosity. I am full of natural energy. I am turning into someone with abundance of energy. Hold on one second. This thing acting up again. Hold on 1 second. We ain't having this tonight. Doggone it. They were supposed to have fixed this. They were supposed to have fixed this. We're going to have some issues if it ain't fixed. You know what I'm saying? You better stop buffering my stuff. Let's go. These positive affirmations, baby. Spit these positive affirmations. I have more than enough energy to do everything I want and need to do. I will reach out for social support. I am ready to conquer the things I need to do today and am positive about all the factors of my day. Positive energy is everywhere. I trust in the divine powers of the universe. Having abundant energy is one of my top priorities in life. I practice this feeling daily. I am radiating positivity. See, they're going to piss me off tonight. I did all this work and this. See what I'm saying? One second, folks. Be right back.
Terrence Mitchell Beats.
What they yelling? Scraightup. Podcast Scraightup. Get it. Podcast Scraightup. Scraightup. What they yelling? Scraightup. Podcast Scraightup. Yeah. Podcast Scraightup. Yeah. Podcast Scraightup. What they yelling? Scraightup. Podcast Scraightup. Scraightup. Podcast Scraightup. Podcast Scraightup. Yeah. Podcast Scraightup. Yeah. Podcast Scraightup. What they yelling? Scraightup. Podcast Scraightup. Yeah. Podcast Scraightup. Podcast Scraightup. Let's get it. Podcast Scraightup. Podcast Scraightup. Yeah. Podcast Scraightup. What they yelling? Scraightup. Podcast Scraightup. Yeah. Podcast Straight up. Straight up. I spit bars and wake them up. Straight up. And straight up. And straight up. And straight up. And just give it to them raw. And straight up. And straight up. And straight up. And just give it to them raw. Just give it to them raw. What's up? What's up? What's up? Facebook. What's up, YouTube? Listen, man, I had a bunch of complications this morning. I'm usually on in the morning, but I said, you know what? I can't deprive the people of a show. So I said, why not test out the nighttime and see what it do at night? Miss Diva, I see you. How you feeling? Hey, listen, the Scraightup Podcast is on at night, baby. That's right. We on at night tonight. You know what I'm saying? And for some of y'all who ain't never seen the Scraightup Podcast, you in for a treat, because every single show starts off with positive affirmations, baby. That's right. I don't care if it's nighttime. Are we gonna still do these affirmations? Kiana, what's up, honey? How you feeling? How you feeling? Listen, just because it's nighttime don't mean I ain't gonna start the show with positive affirmations tonight. Ain't gonna be no different. Is y'all ready for these positive affirmations, baby? Are y'all ready? Since tonight's topic is energy vampires, guess what we gonna do? Energy affirmations. Yeah, that's right. We're going to do some energy affirmations. What's up, Miss Sarah? How you feeling? How you feeling? Every cell in my body vibrates with positive energy. Every cell in my body is happy, healthy, relaxed, and at peace. I wake up feeling refreshed. I wake up feeling restored. And some of y'all going to sleep right now, but see, hey, y'all rewind it in the morning. Y'all rewind it in the morning, and that's how you're going to do. What is up with this? Listen, man, they just don't want me to put on the show tonight, do they? They just keep trying to buffer me and all that stuff, man. What is going on? They act like they don't want no positivity tonight. Hey, I said acting like they don't want no kind of positivity tonight. Yeah, but it's okay. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing. I love and approve of myself. I am turning into someone with abundance of energy. I know how to re-energize myself whenever it's needed. I have boundless energy that lasts all day long. My life, and I'm ready to accomplish all of my goals. The universe energy flows through my life. I am forever energy. Ooh, wait. That's right, I am for energy. When I start to feel drained, I take time alone to replenish that energy. I am never tired. I'm going to wake up and be refreshed. Each morning is listen, they don't want me to do no show tonight, man. They did not want me to do no show tonight. What's wrong with them? I don't know what's wrong with them. It's like they don't like positivity or something. They just going to try to keep my stream going in and out. You know what I'm saying? They're just going to try to keep my stream going in and out tonight, huh? Listen, y'all, check this out. If it keeps buffering, then I'm gonna have to shut it down, because I don't like the buffering. I don't like the buffering at all. You know what I'm saying? So listen, let's just get to it. Let's get to it. Y'all ready? What exactly is an energy vampire? Some of y'all might not even know, but y'all gonna learn tonight. Okay, so somebody got to tell the truth, and it might as well be Josh.
Well, what are you waiting for? Give us the truth, buddy.
You damn right. I'm going to give you the truth. Energy vampires are people who drain your emotional energy. They feed on your willingness to listen and care for them. They will leave you exhausted and overwhelmed. Energy vampires tend to be emotionally immature, self-centered, and they will lack empathy. They will absolutely suck every bit of energy out of you. Some of them don't even know they doing it. Oh, man. Thank you, Miss Diva. Thank you. I appreciate you. Some of y'all don't know that I done switched up the scenes and everything. Hey, your boy you got to upgrade every now and then. Energy vampires can be your spouse or your best friend. They can be your cubicle mate or your neighbor. They never take any kind of accountability. Oh, I'm on the ass, Kiana. I'm on the ass. They tend to be charismatic. They slide right out of the way of trouble just because they're charming. They are crafty and pin problems on someone else in almost every single situation. They will never accept any accountability for their role in any kind of disagreement or issue. You're often left holding the guilt and possibly the blame. Some of y'all, I'm describing some of your peoples right now. Some of y'all, I'm describing your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your cousin, your man, your woman. Some of y'all don't know what an energy vampire is. Some of y'all don't know the signs of an energy vampire. But if y'all thought that I wasn't going to have no cartoony tune to help me spit these bars, you are wrong. Let's go.
Is there someone in your life who makes you feel emotionally exhausted just by being around them? Or leaves you feeling upset, anxious, or stressed out whenever you spend time with them? If there is, then you should watch out. That person might be an energy vampire. Energy vampires aren't at all like those people you dislike or disagree with. It's not a matter of you simply finding it hard to get along with them. In fact, most energy vampires tend to be close friends or family members, always exploiting
It is always somebody that is close to you.
you and zapping away your energy without you knowing it. They're stubborn, manipulative, entitled, and self-absorbed. They're people who want to have you at their beck and call. They call or use you as a psychological punching bag to feel good about themselves. Does this sound unsettlingly familiar to you? If you want to find out whether you're in a situation like this, here are 6 signs you're dealing with an energy vampire. 1. They like to play victim. Energy vampires usually don't take responsibility for their mistakes. They can't hold themselves accountable for the part they play when things go bad, and instead blame everyone else for what happens to them.
They're going to blame everybody else. It doesn't matter who it is. They will never be to blame. These cartoons be spitting bars. Let's go.
They are manipulative. For example, they may constantly guilt trip you into feeling sorry for them, doing favors for them, and staying by their side.
They will not let you leave. They are just like leeches. Some of y'all better learn how to protect your energy, better learn how to protect your peace. Some of y'all been in relationships with these damn energy vampires for ages. And you ain't been able to accomplish nothing at all simply because you won't break loose. And anytime you think you about to break loose, they suck you, they reel you back in, they guilt trip you, they tell you all the lies, they make you believe that I told y'all I just look like this, I be spitting ball. I know, y'all seen the pretty flickering screens and you thought you was gonna get some drama. Dear nighttime, y'all ain't used to the Scraightup Podcast. You will be after the night. These cartoons be spitting bars, let's go.
Based on a study by Lobel and Tabor, people who behave like this often struggle with extremely low self-esteem and seek constant validation from others as a coping mechanism. Thus, they come off as needy, clingy, and sometimes even codependent on those around them. 2. They're narcissistic.
Energy vampires are absolutely narcissistic. And if you missed the show on narcissism, go back and check it out. But let me tell y'all what narcissists do. They want to control any and everything. See, these people who want to drain your energy like they're dumpster juice in real life. Yeah, I said it. They're dumpster juice in real life. They ain't got nothing going on good for themselves, so they want to latch on to somebody that's doing something good so they can suck that life out of you so that you can't accomplish any of your goals, so that you can't get ahead in life. They don't want you working on your mental. They don't, because then if you start working on your mental, you going to start calling them out on their bullshit, because when you work on your mental, you begin to radiate on a higher frequency, so that toxic energy is no longer something that you desire. Ooh, let's go.
Energy vampires are known to be highly self-absorbed. Have you ever found yourself dealing with someone who constantly only ever wanted to talk about themselves and never listened to anything you had to say? Well, people like this are often charismatic and smooth-talking.
How many of y'all got friends or family members right now, every single time you talk to them, they flip the conversation back on them. They always try to one-up you. They got a better story than you do. Their situation is worse than yours. Huh? You might be dealing with an energy vampire.
which makes it harder to stay away from them. Oftentimes, they have little to no capacity for empathy and will usually only pretend to care about you when it benefits them. They might expect you to always put them first and be upset with you when you don't give in to their demands for
How many of y'all got friends, the second you want to go do something for yourself, they got a problem with it. The second you go hang out with some of your friends, they got a problem with it. Ooh, y'all better pay attention. People are real slick and manipulative these days.
attention or praise? Do you know someone like this in your life? Perhaps you might relate to being a narcissist, but feel no shame. Self-awareness is key.
Thank you, Miss Diva. Like, share, and subscribe. It's free, y'all. We on YouTube and Facebook. Let's go.
If you enjoy our content so far, don't forget to subscribe for more psychology and mental health content. 3. They want to dominate you. Do you know someone who's loudmouthed and loves to feel superior over others? Chances are, individuals like this are actually deeply insecure about themselves. They're afraid of appearing weak or foolish, and so they overcompensate by intimidating others and exerting their dominance over those around them. They put you down in order to feel good about themselves. They also feel insecure about your success or achievements because they fear being outdone. A study by Nagy and Davis suggests that highly competitive and likely type A personalities have a neurotic need to beat others. 4. They create unnecessary drama. Chaos can be exhilarating for an energy vampire. As long as they're at the center of attention, they tend to have an exaggerated sense of self-importance.
How many of y'all know people that's in your life right now and they always got to be the center of attention? No matter what. When you ask questions like that, you hear this.
And they enjoy playing the sympathy card on others. This is why they thrive in crisis and love to create problems, either for themselves or others, making mountains out of molehills. They gossip and make trouble wherever they go in order to distract themselves from the emptiness they feel. They go to great lengths just to feel intense emotions, even when they're negative. 5. They constantly criticize you. If someone constantly criticizes you and makes you feel bad about yourself, they might be toxic to your mental health. They prey on your insecurities and emotionally manipulate you. While it seems obvious enough, sometimes it can be difficult to recognize this behavior in others, especially if there's someone close to you. People like this often seem friendly on the outside, but deep down, they might already be harboring malicious intentions towards you. And 6, they exploit your kindness.
Listen, I've said this on 1,000,001 shows and I'm going to keep saying it. Y'all better learn how to say no and mean it, because that's what they do. That's what they do. They exploit your kindness. Let's go.
Based on a study by Grosch and others, in 2015, compassionate and caring people are prime targets for their abuse. If ever you've come into contact with an energy vampire and shown them any sympathy or understanding, they're likely to use your good nature against you. For example, they take advantage of you by coercing you into doing things you don't want to do. These people will demand a lot more than you can give. Establishing healthy boundaries with others is incredibly important. If someone is weighing you down and taking a toll on your emotional well-being, this person isn't worth keeping in your life. Too much company with an emotional vampire can be detrimental to your mental health. So, recognize the signs and know your limitations. Do you know anyone who fits the description of an energy vampire? And how did you deal with them? Let us know in the comment section below. Share this with...
Go follow Scraightup. Listen, a lot of y'all are your own worst enemy, because you will know that this person is draining you. You will know this person is completely negative, but you will keep that person in your life. How many times have you been asked to go to a family event or get together or something, and the first thing you do is ask who's going to be there? And the second they get to that one name, you... That's because you're sick and tired. You know what's going to happen once you get around that person. Yet you go anyway. See, a lot of us can prevent a lot of the issues that happen to us if we would just walk away from the BS. And energy vampires almost always tend to be somebody that's close to you, a family, a friend, somebody you in a relationship with. Because see, your guard is usually up. Regardless of how nice a person you are, your guard is usually up when it's a stranger. But it's the ones closest to you that really get you. We don't pay attention to the people closest to us. We might start making excuses for them. Oh, that's just so and so. Energy vampires love drama. They're always the center of dramatic situations. Whether they're the instigator of an issue or someone who took sides, they may come to you to play the victim, to receive your empathy, and even expect you to find ways to fix the problem. See, people who are emotionally draining got a habit of diminishing your problems and playing up their own. How many times have you got a phone call from somebody, and the second they called you, they always talking about some drama and some BS? And if you ever try to interrupt and tell them about your bad day, they flip it and make it. See, these types of people are very crafty. People will use you as their emotional dumping ground, and that is very draining. You got the power to fix it, but why don't you? Why don't you? That's the question we got to start asking ourselves. They tend to shift any kind of attention and any discussion to themselves. They will turn your dismay into their emotional bullet. They are very manipulative. They take advantage of your kind or caring nature by trying to steal too much of your time away or make you feel guilty, even if you're not spending time acknowledging them. And they also like to give ultimatums. Ultimatums is a bully tactic. It's a manipulative tactic. Yeah. They do this to get you to shut up because they know that when they give an ultimatum, it's playing on your heart. They are very needy. How many of y'all got somebody in your life that's very needy? And see, a lot of y'all, when you get to thinking needy, you get to thinking financial or materialistic things. But nah, a lot of people are needy of your time, of your energy. How many of us got that one friend been dating the same raggedy dude or the same raggedy woman for ages? And every time your phone rings or every time y'all around each other, they're talking to you about the same drama with the same man or woman that they refuse to leave. And every single time that you give that person advice, they don't take it. They keep doing the same thing. And even if they do leave, they go to another person with similar characteristics because these days nobody believes in healing. And since they don't believe in healing, they're going to get the same person with a different face. Huh? They're going to call and dump all of their problems on you to the point you can't never focus on your own problems. Yeah, I know. I just look like this. I be spitting bars. Those are the type of people you need to rid yourself of. Because you spend more time trying to be there for them that you forget to be there for you.
Yeah, talk to him.
Bars. Yeah, I got time tonight. What kind of things do keeping an energy vampire around you do to you? They tend to make you become tense and guarded. And usually after you encounter someone of this magnitude, they leave you feeling deflated, dejected. They leave you feeling bad about yourself. Do you find yourself obsessing over conversations with a particular person? Maybe you plan what you're going to say by carefully preparing your argument ahead of time. Or you keep reliving that same conversation where you wish you said something different. Thing is, it don't matter how prepared you are, nothing you can say or do will ever be good enough for somebody that's an energy vampire. Because all they're going to do is twist and turn it into ways that you can't predict. See, when we find ourselves in these kinds of relationships, it might be time to rewrite the story. Yeah. But we never do. What we do is we cling to a belief that this isn't true about that person. And when we do that, we get caught in a vicious cycle of toxicity, of hope, and disappointment. Ooh, wait. I told you I just look like this. I be spitting bars. Let me rewind that. Do you find yourself obsessing over conversations with a particular person? Do you plan out what you're going to say carefully and even try to plan out your argument ahead of time? Do you keep reliving conversations where you wish you said something different? It does not matter how prepared you are. Nothing you can say or do will ever be good enough when you're dealing with an energy vampire. Never. Whenever you around these type of negative ass people, they tend to drain your creative spirits by making you feel bad about yourself. What does that mean, Josh? Oh, I don't know. You might be an entrepreneur. You might be a crafter. You might got something going on for yourself. And they don't like that because that is going to take away from their time. That is going to take away. So what do? The second they get around you, they start to radiate and generate negative emotions and thoughts. And most times they ain't man or woman enough to be blunt about it. So they don't get to using stuff like insults. They find subtle ways to cut deep over time. And as they're cutting deep over time, you get to feeling guilty and ashamed. Ooh, wait. I'm not playing with, I don't never come to play. I know y'all ain't never seen me on that night. I don't usually do the nights. I know, but I'm going to spit these bars. Energy vampires drains your spirits by preying on your guilt. They know how to exploit the things that you already believe in yourself. Our guilt might lead us to give up on any kind of endeavors that we may have. Because that energy vampire is going to make you think that everything you do is selfish. And if we feel ashamed of it or guilty for giving it time, then we have a serious energy leak that needs addressing. They got a habit of make you feeling really, really small. See, people that's bitter, people that's miserable, people who are toxic, they only get their strength from making others feel weak. Oh, man. Oh, man. Energy vampires will make you feel this small. They only get their strength from making other people feel weak. Example, how many of y'all have been on social media and you'll post a meme and everybody laughing and having a good old time and hee ha ha and kikiing and all of that. And the next thing you know, somebody over there, you know what? They come writing a whole AP formatted college essay all on the post. It's all negative and stuff. They do that because that's the only way they can feel good about themselves. And see, you got to be real careful about the ones who always got so much to say. The ones who always talking negatively. The ones with the criticism all the time because they usually have the worst life. They are usually the ones whose lives is in shambles. And since they ain't got the heart or the courage enough to adjust the situations within themselves, they only feel better if they put somebody else down. They will make you feel like you are wrong about everything. Ooh, I got time tonight. See, these energy vampires will make you feel like you are wrong about every single thing. They never provide a solution for any problem. They provide a problem for every problem. Ooh, no matter what you suggest, they have the uncanny ability to pick it apart. Some of y'all, I'm talking about somebody in your life right now. It's okay. We all been there. See, they hate being wrong. How many of y'all know people that you just can't stand because they always swear they right? I know I'm not the only one who know people like this. They hate to be wrong. And they will avoid committing to anything for which they could be judged. They trade in excuses and blame instead. And they will do everything within their power to be right. Every single thing. They will always know more than you. Even in your own areas of expertise. I'm a whole videographer. Let me tell you how energy vampires do. See, they can't stand that you got something going on for them, for yourself. So what they do is, you know what? I'm going to act like I know more than him or her about their profession. You know how many times I've talked to somebody and they come to me for advice about doing a podcast, for advice about building some video, something. And when I try to explain it to them, I know. Oh, okay, so if you knew, then what the hell you asking me for? Huh? See, this is what energy vampires do. They make sure that they leave you feeling this big, regardless the situation, regardless the conversation. See, these type of people, they see the world in black and white. It's like they divide people and things into opposing camps. They use labels to create certain categories. They deal in, it's us or them. It's good or bad. It's inside or outside. And they emphasize the importance of things like strength, intelligence, power, and reputation, regardless if they have none of those characteristics. And the more you enable, yes, I say enable, because a lot of y'all got people in your life that I'm describing right now. And the more you let them get away with it, the more they weaponize it. That's what they do. See, I keep telling people, you got to learn to establish boundaries with these toxic ass, stupid ass,
Oh, clown ass, oh, dog ass
type of people. What y'all do is y'all will tell somebody y'all don't like something and they will do it again. But understand, once I tell you that I don't like something, that means that's a boundary. That's just something that I do not like. So if you do it again, it moves from being a boundary to disrespect. You have disrespected my personal space. I told you that I don't like this. Hey, Miss Lauren Singh, how you doing, honey? Once you tell somebody that you don't like something and they continue to do it, it is now disrespect. But what y'all do is because y'all feel entitled to these dramatic, toxic, energy vampire type of people, it's just such and such. They just like that. And every single time you do that, guess what you're doing? You're newsflash. We call that an enabler. You're enabling them. And the second you begin to enable them, y'all know the saying. I know, but common sense ain't so common, so I'm going to spit this saying out. You give them an inch and they take a mile. This is what happens, people. In the second that you enable somebody that's dramatic, somebody that's an energy vampire, somebody who's toxic, they weaponize it. You all have to learn how to establish boundaries, especially with family and friends. See, it's the family and the friends that get you in trouble. I keep telling people, it's never a stranger that walks into your life and just decides to turn it upside down. I mean, if you get to know a stranger and you date them and all that stuff, that can possibly happen. But most of the times, it's the people closest to you because they feel like they're entitled to you. Oh, I'm mama, I can get away with this. Oh, I'm cousin, I can get away with this. Oh, I'm boyfriend or girlfriend. No, negative. You can't get away with this. Establishing boundaries with these emotional ass vampires is absolutely easier said than done at first, but you can and should develop areas of your life where you won't allow toxic energy to enter into it. See, that's most of our problems. I said our because I ain't sitting here trying to act like I'm perfect. That's what most of these fake ass social media influencers do. That ain't what I do. I go through this as well. Most of our problems is we don't establish proper boundaries with people. That's right. We too nice. We too kind. We want to see the best in people. But each year that passes on, it gets worse and worse with the toxicity. It's almost like we done normalized it now. So you got to establish these boundaries. And when you establish these boundaries, you got to ensure that there's a consequence for somebody stepping over that boundary. See, a boundary is a line that you put in the sand, that you put over you, and nobody should cross. If they cross it, they don't value you. Stop agreeing to go to events that y'all know they're going to be at. Avoid all these getaways and trips and family outings. If they toxic, you got to let it go. Then we got to learn to adjust our expectations. See, a lot of us got unrealistic expectations for everything in our lives. See, when you talk unrealistic expectations, people think I'm only talking about romantic relationships, but no, we got unrealistic expectations for everybody in our lives for one simple reason, because we keep expecting you out of somebody else, and that is never the case. Everybody is not like a Lauren Scene. Everybody is not like a Josh. Everybody is not like a Miss Diva, and you don't tell people about the boundaries. Just a step. Yes, see, here's the thing. Now, sometimes, Lauren Scene, sometimes, because like if it's a romantic partner, they don't know that. Sometimes you gotta tell them because they might not know that they're crossing the boundary. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta tell them like, hey, hold on, I don't like this, because a lot of people are so toxic and they do that to everybody that they don't even realize that they're doing that to you. So sometimes you gotta actually tell them like, listen, I do not like this. You cannot do this to me. You get what I'm saying? But if it's like a family, friend, somebody like that, yeah, sometimes you ain't got to tell them nothing. Because me personally, I specialize in what Ms. Lauren Scene just said. I won't tell you Nathan. And the second you walk across one of my boundaries, I hit you with the deuces.
Yeah, talk to him.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah. Pause. Sometimes you got to shut off that emotional valve and stop offering advice when they come to you, venting to you about their problem. See, this the one that gets us in trouble. This the one that gets us in trouble. Hey, Meek, how you doing tonight? This the one that gets us in trouble. She said, I have boundaries with some people. I just established the boundaries so I don't have to deal with it anymore. Bars. But some people won't set them boundaries at all, and they don't understand when they don't, Lauren Scene. When they don't, you're becoming an enabler, because that person now thinks it's okay to do these types of things. But I need all of y'all out here on YouTube, whoever watching on YouTube, whoever watching on Facebook, if you don't take nothing from what I'm about to say tonight, take something, this next sentence. Sometimes you need to shut off your emotional valve and stop offering advice when they come to you about their problems. Because, see, that's right, boundaries protect your peace. Because, see, what people do is they will dump all of their problems on you and act like you're their personal psychiatrist. Yeah, I just said it. They will come to you and act like you are their personal psychiatrist. Yeah, I just said that. That's what they do. Yo, Josh, I'm going through this with such and such. I'm going through this with such and such. My old lady this and my old lady that. Okay, that's cool and all, but I gave you advice 10 years ago. You're still with the same chick. You never take my advice. Therefore, I'm wasting my breath. I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my energy. And sometimes I get so wrapped up in what you telling me and all your drama that I forget about my own issues. See, this is why you got to cut off that emotional valve, people. I told y'all I just look like this. I be spitting bars. Yeah, I know. You thought you was going to see this pretty flickering screen and you was going to get some drama and some BS. You came to the wrong show. On this show, I know y'all not used to me at night, but y'all better get used to me when I do pull up at night, because on this show, it's about substance. On this show, it's about awareness and uplifting and pushing people to be better. And a lot of us are, watch your tongue, watch your tongue. Watch your tongue over there. I see you. Hey, but listen. You have to, Lauren Singh said bye-bye. That's right, bye-bye. Get them up out of your life. See, so many of us, I keep saying this on every single show. I don't care what show I do. I can use the line, we are our own worst enemies. Because we all get tired of that same person. How many of y'all that person says the messed up stuff to y'all, dumped all their stuff on y'all, and when you get with your other friend, that's a mutual friend with that same friend, girl, such and such, she always in some mess. She always this. Man, dude always doing something. We be knowing that we need to leave that person alone, but we stay because we feel obligated to them, because we feel entitled to them, because that's mama, that's daddy, that's girlfriend, that's boyfriend, that's husband, that's wife. Hey, newsflash, just in, toxic people come in the form of mama. Toxic people come in the form of daddy. Toxic people come in the form of sister, of cousin, of auntie, of uncle, of friend, of girlfriend, of boyfriend, of husband, of wife. Yes, toxic people come in all shapes and forms and all types of relationships. And it is our fault that they continue to stay there and leech and become that energy vampire. They will drain you of everything in you if you let them. And don't let you ever decide that you want better for self. Don't let you ever decide, you know what? I'm sick of going through this. I'm sick of going through all this stuff that See, listen, strong people got it the worst. I'm going to tell you that I'm a strong one in my family. It's a lot of people that it's one person that's the strongest in the family. And what happens to that one person? Every single person in the family always comes to that person to dump all their BS on them, because we're strong enough, because we give the best of life advice, because we're the ones who decided to want better, right? But what happens when it's time for reciprocation? What happens? That's why they say check on your strong friends. What happens when you need that get up? When you need that extra boost? When you need advice? You call them same people who's always dumping a BS on you, and you hear, yeah, I said it. That's what happens. So they can depend on you, but you can never depend on them. Ever. And we know this. We'll be so drained and defeated that when it's finally time for us to deal with some of our own, we can't even do it, because we ain't got enough intestinal fortitude. We ain't got enough courage inside. We ain't got no more energy for ourselves. Ooh, wee. What you say, Mr. Scraightup? He said that boy be spitting bars. I know I'm not the only one that been through this. I know I'm not the only person who ever been through this. And see, some of y'all, you won't let them go. Some of y'all, you won't let them go. But you'll still try because you want to use them as an emotional release. Huh? You're hoping. See, we like to hope a lot. I hope such and such. I hope this. I hope that. But it never changes. Some of y'all got to learn how to guard your emotional capacity. What do you mean, Josh? These emotional vampires will use nonverbal cues to know when they have someone on the hook. Your facial expression, the way you lean in, how you clasp your hands. They will take these as signs of your investment. Sometimes you got to offer them the stone face. Ooh-wee. You got to let them know that you're not playing with them. Start using short statements when they ask questions. Don't open up to their demands. Start reserving your energy for you. A lot of us, the reason we don't prosper in life, the reason we can't never get ahead is because we never have energy for ourselves. We are too busy giving our energy to people who don't deserve our energy. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I know. I'm the only one. I'm the only one who go through this. You can't keep giving your energy to people and expecting to prosper. Some of y'all be having dope ideas. Some of y'all be business-minded, super creative, super talented. But you can't never focus because all of your energy is spent on someone else. That raggedy-ass boyfriend, that raggedy-ass girlfriend. Yeah, I'm about to go here. I'm about to go there. A lot of y'all in relationships with people y'all ain't got no business being with. Yeah, I said it. So many of y'all be with people that y'all know ain't for you. Huh? You lose yourself. You don't even know who you are anymore. And you want it so bad for it to get back to that honeymoon phase. That little bubble inside your gut that you used to get when y'all first started dating. But see, these narcissistic energy vampires, they know how to play the vicious cycle on you. What they do is, first, they love bomb you. After they love bomb you, they make you fall all in love. Then they begin to work their narcissistic tendencies on you. Huh? But in your mind, you're like, I know it can get back to what it used to be in a honeymoon phase. So we keep holding on to hope and potential. And hope and potential will only get you so far. If that person ain't truly changed and they real slick with it, because the second you decide to walk away from them, the first thing they do is get to pretending like they back to that same person they used to be. They want to do everything right, reel you back in, make you believe that they changed, make you believe that it's a brighter future. And the second you let your guard back down, boom, they hit you with the same toxic traits that... I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. Most of us are our own worst enemy. Most of us can't get ahead in life because we with the wrong people or we got the wrong people in our lives. And when you got the wrong people in your lives, not only is all of your energy always drained and always negative. Yeah, they remix it, Miss Diva. Whip it, flip the pot. Whip it, remix it. For some of y'all who just comments, there's comments on YouTube too. So some of y'all was like, who is he talking to? I ain't talking to myself, I promise. We on YouTube and Facebook, okay? But listen, some of us literally can't get ahead because the person we're with or because of the people we have in our lives. And I know it's hard to let go. Sometimes it's very hard to let go. I get it. I've been there. I ain't trying to act like I'm polished or I'm perfect. I've been there, right? But sometimes you got to take a hard look in the mirror and admit what's really going on. Some of y'all got boyfriend and girlfriends or husband and wives out here who've been stopping you and hindering your growth for ages. Some of y'all got mamas and daddies out here who've been hindering your growth for ages because you too busy focusing on them. You're so busy focusing on them that nothing you ever do can prosper. And once you leave, I can't stress this enough. If you decide to leave and break away from that toxic individual, that drama-filled, toxic energy vampire, the next thing you need to do is heal. And people truly don't understand healing. I did a whole show on healing. Check it out if you want to. Healing hits different. See, the reason most of us keep making the same mistakes in life and keep going to the same drama-filled, toxic type of people is because we refuse to heal. And healing is a process, and it don't happen overnight. Some of y'all break away, spend a week grieving, and then jump right back into the same type situation you were just in with a whole different type of person. That newsflash, that is a recipe for disaster. That is an absolute recipe for disaster. It's not gonna go. See, I'm about to bust some of y'all bubbles, but I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. That's it. On this show, we give it to them raw. On this show, we give it to them raw. Some of y'all can't find no man or woman because you're addicted to toxic, because you're addicted to these leeches and pariahs. You've normalized it. Ooh, yeah, I said it. Not only have you normalized it, you have never healed. So you got old wounds. So that person that you with or these people that's in your life, they now become triggers for you. Ooh, see, now we talking a whole new ball game now. When you get to talking triggers, you talking a whole new ball game now, Josh. You can't talk energy vampires and talk this good stuff without mentioning triggers. And that's the word of the night, y'all. Because if you think I ain't about to do a twofer and talk about these triggers, you are absolutely wrong. Some of y'all don't know what triggers are. Some of y'all are walking around triggering each other. I got time. Please direct your attention to the screen down below. Boom. Energy vampires and triggers. That's right. Hey, Miss Diva, it's a twofer. It's a twofer. Yeah, I made up a word. It's a twofer. A lot of y'all don't know what triggers are. And since you don't know what triggers are and know the effects of triggers, it gets you in trouble. Yeah. Y'all thought y'all was gonna see these pretty flickering screens and you was gonna get some drama and bullshit? Nah, we talk real facts on this show. And since some of y'all don't know what triggers are, I'm about to dive right into it. See, y'all be in these relationships with people who trigger you. Y'all be in relationships with people who trigger you. And then you be wondering why stuff goes left. And you don't be having nobody to blame because you never took the time to recognize your own triggers. That's why it's so important to heal, people. You have to heal. A lot of us are walking around with these emotional scars that we done had since we were children. And we've never addressed them. And since we've never addressed them, they plague us for the rest of our lives. Yeah, I said it. I said it. When will you put in some shadow work? When will you pay attention to self? When will you finally love yourself? See, a lot of y'all be talking like y'all know what love is. You know what self-love is. But you only say it because it's a trending topic that can get you some likes. You have no earthly idea what it means. You can't talk energy vampires without discussing triggers, people. You can't do it. So you came to the right place tonight. You came to the right place tonight, people. She said it's a twofer. Hey, this diva, it's a twofer. So let's hit it again, people. But this time we talking triggers. Okay, so somebody got to tell the truth, and it might as well be Josh.
Well, what are you waiting for? Give us the truth, buddy.
You damn right, I'm going to give you the truth. What exactly is a trigger? A trigger is a reminder of a past trauma. This reminder can cause a person to feel overwhelmingly sad, anxious, or cause them to panic. It may also cause someone to have a flashback. What is a flashback, Josh? A flashback is a vivid, often negative memory that may appear without warning. It can cause someone to lose track of their surroundings and relive a traumatic event. And this is a very real experience, people. See, a trigger is something that affects your emotional state. It causes extreme, overwhelming, or distress. A trigger affects your ability to remain present in the moment. Ooh-wee. I told you I just look like this. I be spitting bars. A lot of y'all don't know what triggers are. You're going to learn today. A trigger refers to something that affects your emotional state significantly by causing extreme overwhelm or distress. A trigger affects your ability to remain present in the moment. It may bring up specific thought patterns or influence your behavior. Every day we experience a variety of emotions, people. You could feel happiness, sadness, excitement, frustration, or disappointment. All of your emotions are connected to the various events that have happened in your life. Whether they've been simple or complex, life events can be emotional triggers. You can simply be triggered by the loud noise in your neighborhood or the noise that you hear on the television. All of your reaction to these triggers are based on your current mindset. This is why on this show, I preach so much about mindset. A trigger is anything that can bring unpleasant feelings and instantaneous emotional responses. Example, you're disturbed by a piece of terrifying news. The news is the trigger, and being disturbed is your emotional reaction. Man, listen, I told you I just look like this. I be spitting bars. Yeah, I know you came here thinking, I see these pretty flickering screens. He gonna talk some drama. He gonna talk some bullshit. No, on this show, we spit bars. On this show, we uplift each other. On this show, it's going to take longer for it to rise because people love drama and BS and negativity. But that's the reason why I built it the way I did, so that it captures people's attention and it gets at least one. I don't care if nobody watches my show the whole time I'm on. I could be on for 3 hours. As long as I reach one person, I did my job. I'm sick of all the negativity that's on social media. I'm sick of all the negativity and the BS that's on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. Somebody had to be the change. Why not Josh? And if y'all thought that I wasn't going to have no cartoony tune to help me spit these bars about triggers, you are absolutely wrong. 8 signs you may be emotionally triggered. Let's go.
Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to another video. Before we start, we would like to thank you all for the support that you've given us. Psych2Go's mission is to make psychology and mental health more accessible to everyone, and you help.
What are you talking about, cool kid? Block people for no reason? Hey, listen, this is boom. That's how that go. There we go. Hey, listen, let's go.
Let's do that. So thank you. Now, back to the video. Have you ever seen, smelled, or heard something that caused you to have a mental breakdown? An emotional trigger is an event that evokes a usually negative emotional reaction. It can cause flashbacks, which make it seem like you're reliving your past traumatic event. The experience can feel frightening and exhausting, and you may not even be aware that you're emotionally triggered. So to help you become more aware and prepared, we've made this video to help you recognize 8 signs that you may be emotionally triggered. Before we begin, we would like to mention that this video is created for educational purposes only and is not intended to substitute a professional diagnosis. If you suspect you may have emotional triggers, we highly advise you to seek help from a qualified mental health professional. With that said, let's begin. Number 1, you feel distant from reality. Have you ever dissociated or felt distanced from reality? Dissociation is the feeling of being disconnected from your body or from the world around you. There are different types of dissociation, such as depersonalization, which is having out-of-body experiences, derealization, where you see the world as a dream, dissociative amnesia, identity confusion, and others. Dissociation is also a symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder, which develops as a result of trauma and includes intense reactions to—
And listen, before I let this cartoon continue, let me make sure I make this known. PTSD is associated with combat vets and military members. But let me make this clear. You can get post-traumatic stress disorder for anything. What do you mean, Josh? Me and Miss Diva can be walking down the street. We see somebody get hit by a car. That might not affect me. I might keep it moving. But that situation might be absolutely toxic, absolutely traumatic to Miss Diva. See, people like to act like PTSD is only associated with certain types of people. You can have PTSD for losing a family member, from seeing somebody fall off a bike, for seeing something disturbing on the news. And don't let nobody else tell you what you have grief over. Let's go.
emotional triggers. Number 2, you're easily irritated. Are you suddenly bothered by things that don't usually irritate you? Maybe it's frustration over getting stuck in traffic when you usually enjoy the commute, or feeling impatient when your close friends are talking. If you find yourself more annoyed than usual, especially at the people you love, you may be experiencing annoyance as a coping mechanism to keep yourself from reacting to an emotional trigger. Number 3, you avoid specific people, places, or things. Do you go out of your way to avoid certain people or places? While it's pretty common to avoid a significant other after a breakup or a friend after a fight because you know seeing them will bring back unwanted memories or create conflict, people with emotional triggers might also avoid places where a traumatic event occurred, events with loud noises, or strangers who look like people who were part of the traumatic event.
We have to understand triggers.
Simple everyday actions might also be a trigger, especially for people with PTSD. Number 4, you feel overwhelmed.
If you feel overwhelmed, it might be a sign that you triggered. You see, some of us, it's important that you pay attention to yourself and understand your own emotions. Okay? Because emotions are warning signs. They're like caution signs. They're telling you that something is wrong. Emotions aren't meant to beat you down into submission. They are meant to be an indicator to you that something needs to change, right? Or it can be a happy emotion. You know what I'm saying? It's an indicator of something. Consider them like warning lights. Red light, green light, go. Let's go.
Do you find it hard to stay on task or to interact with a lot of people? Feeling overwhelmed by everyday tasks that are easy to accomplish may be a sign that you're emotionally triggered. While this feeling of being overwhelmed can also be an effect of depression, anxiety, or ADHD, if you continue to have a problem maintaining a daily routine for months or even years after a traumatic event, then it may be likely you're emotionally triggered or are suffering from PTSD. Number 5, you feel panicked or anxious. Do you experience heightened feelings of anxiety or have frequent panic attacks? Some symptoms of a panic attack include increased heart rate, difficulty breathing, chest pains, and the experience of intense fear. While panic attacks can be a sign of an anxiety disorder, increased anxiety about a specific event, especially when connected to past trauma or activities you used to enjoy, may be a sign that you're emotionally triggered instead. Number 6, you distrust others or feel threatened.
Now see, it's normal for us to distrust certain people, right? Because distrust leads to a lot of things. But if you have trust issues, that may be a trigger for something that happened in your past. What happened to make you distrust others, right? So that's what you need to pay attention to.
Are you suspicious of others or feel unsafe in low-risk situations? Trust issues can develop from trauma and make you irrationally suspicious of everyone. This belief that others will harm you or do something that will trigger you is also a likely sign that you may be emotionally triggered. Number 7, you have trouble sleeping. Do you have trouble sleeping? People who are emotionally triggered or who have been diagnosed with PTSD may have trouble sleeping as a result of a traumatic event for a few reasons. Trauma experienced during the night may cause you to have an emotional reaction during nighttime. Having reoccurring nightmares or experiencing flashbacks when you try to sleep may also make it more difficult for you to rest during the evening. And number 8, you worry about having a breakdown. Do you live in fear that someone or something will cause you to lose control of your emotions or have an emotional breakdown? Having a public breakdown is often a traumatic event in itself, and it can trigger other emotions such as anger, fear, or emotional pain. While you may be aware of your reoccurring triggers, unknown triggers may pop up in conversations, new environments, or repressed thoughts that resurface, causing feelings of intense anxiety.
This is why it's important to have coping mechanisms. And it's also a reason why you should heal.
And worry. Did you relate to any of these signs? Tell us in the comments below. If you think you might have emotional triggers, talking to a therapist, friend, or family member about it can help. Therapists or other licensed mental health professionals can also help you recognize the events that caused you to be emotionally triggered.
But make sure y'all go follow Scraightup. Understand that people can have a wide range of triggers. Some triggers are common. What do you mean common, Josh? Reading a description of a rape in a newspaper might trigger a flashback or distress for someone who's a rape survivor. But understand, triggers also vary between people. Triggers vary widely from person to person and can be internal or external. If we are talking internal triggers, an internal trigger comes from within a person. It can be a memory, a physical sensation, or an emotion. Example, if you're exercising and your heart starts pounding, the sensation might remind you of a time you were running from an abusive partner. Other examples might include anger, anxiety, feeling overwhelmed, vulnerable, abandoned, or out of control, loneliness, muscle tension, memories tied to a traumatic event, pain, or sadness. But then when you get to talking external triggers come from a person's environment. And sometimes you have to get out of your environment in order to thrive. External triggers can be a person, a place, or a specific situation. And what may be a normal everyday situation or minor inconvenience for some may be triggering for someone living with a mental illness. This is why it's important for people to pay attention to mental health. Good evening, Nicole. How you doing, honey? It might be an external trigger if it's a movie, a television show, or news article that reminds you of that experience. It might be an external trigger if it's a person connected to that experience. It might be an external trigger if you're arguing with a friend, spouse, or partner, a specific time or day, certain sounds that remind you of that experience. It might be an external trigger if it's changes to a relationship or ending a relationship. If it's significant dates such as holidays or anniversaries. It might be an external trigger if you go to a specific location that reminds you of that experience. Sometimes it can be a smell associated with that experience, like smoke, burning tires. Then we have emotional triggers, and this is the one that gets us a lot. It gets us in a lot of trouble. What is an emotional trigger, Josh? An emotional trigger can be your memories or experiences that create a powerful emotional reaction, regardless of your present mood. Emotional triggers are associated with post-traumatic stress disorder, what we know as PTSD. Triggers explain the reason behind a person's reactions rather than being used as an excuse for their behavior. See? A lot of people make excuses for their behavior so they don't understand that it's an emotional trigger. Some of y'all are in relationships with people who are they are your trigger. Triggers are a person's survival response. Understanding triggers can help you become more understanding and forgiving of your misbehaviors. Being able to recognize your trigger is also your responsibility. Yeah. Someone can assist you, but it is your responsibility to recognize your triggers. And you're only doing yourself a disservice if you do not spend time recognizing your trigger. Because if you want to prosper in life and you got triggers, any relationship that you try will fail. Because you got to have the ability to recognize your trigger and cope. And you got to be able to explain to your partner or anybody you deal with what that trigger is. So how do you recognize triggers? Every single person has different emotional triggers. These triggers are usually unwanted and uncomfortable memories or experiences. Things like betrayal, being ignored and disapproved, challenged beliefs, feeling unwanted or too needed, feelings of insecurity, loss of control and loss of independence, rejection, unfair and unjust treatment. These types of things are difficult to avoid and can happen unexpectedly. Not all these things can trigger you. So how do you identify the trigger that actually sets you off? Learn how to pay attention to your mind and your body. Being mentally aware of your triggers is very important. If you're in a situation where you are triggered, you gotta make a mental note. The second you feel triggered, you got to make that and write it down if you got to. Because the first step is always to recognize the trigger. You have to listen to your mind and your body when it creates intense emotional reactions. How do you recognize your body doing different things? Here you go. If you got a pounding heart, disturbed stomach, dizziness, uncontrollable shaking, cold and sweaty palms, these are things that aren't normal for the body. So when they happen, you should take a few seconds or few minutes to just step back and think. Pause, think, then ask these kind of questions. What just happened? What do I feel? Am I angry or happy about what I just felt? Determine the cause of these intense emotions. And this is what a lot of us don't do. If we are triggered, we don't take the time to step back and determine what was the cause of the trigger. After asking yourself those questions, now you gotta ask yourself, have I been in a similar situation before? Did I react the same way? Negative childhood experiences have shaped our triggers. Ask yourself, is it possible that you feel this way at the present moment because of childhood issues? Ooh-wee. See, working on yourself take a lot. You might have been in a situation where you were very pleased about something and want to share it with somebody or share it with your parents. Your parents got home tired from work, you told them about it, but you didn't receive no kind of reaction or attention that you hoped. So now you get to feeling like you're not good enough. The trigger here is your parents. It's your parents' reactions. Whenever you are in a situation where you're about to share something positive, you'll instantly feel depressed, thinking that sharing is pointless because you're not good enough anyway. In adulthood, every time you are caught up in a situation, you feel just like that child again, wanting approval from your parents. Told you I just look like this, I'll be spitting bars. In order to understand or deal with triggers, you gotta be curious. There will be times that triggers are not that clear, or maybe your reactions are inconsistent. If this happens, you gotta think harder, dig deeper. See, what a lot of y'all do is try to fight your triggers. Try to ignore your triggers. But see, when you ignore or fight your triggers, all they do is fester inside of you and you eventually become a ticking time bomb and then you will instantly lash out. Y'all gotta stop ignoring your triggers. Be more curious about your triggers. Think of the deeper reason why you are triggered. Learn and pay attention to your patterns and your reaction. Example, if you are constantly envious or depressed, if you are in a situation where you talk about romantic relationships, is this because you fear being alone or abandoned? Be more curious and question yourself. If you don't start to question yourself, if you don't start to dig deeper, you will never determine what that trigger is. And if you don't determine what your trigger is, it will eat you alive. It will follow you. It will plague you for the rest of your life. How do you manage your emotional triggers? See, because this is one on this show, we don't just do the talky talk. We make sure we provide solutions. So how do you manage your emotional triggers? Being aware of the situations that can trigger you emotionally is not enough. Karen Kirkland is in a building. Being aware of situations that can trigger you emotionally is not enough. It's not easy to escape or avoid these types of situations. Not all triggers are escapable. They can happen anytime and anywhere. But see, y'all ignore them for so long that you got 1,000,001 triggers. Ooh, wait. Y'all don't put no work in. I'm not playing with y'all. I never come to play. 1 second. Some of y'all have ignored your triggers for so long that you can hardly even recognize yourself. Avoiding them have been beating you up for ages. Yeah, I said it. If you want to know how to manage your triggers, the first thing you got to do is acknowledge your feelings. Feelings are a part of our everyday existence. And all of these different feelings can stir up different triggers, and that is normal. You got to learn to be kind to yourself and stop comparing your past to your present life. Your past experience may have left you wounds that are still healing. This is why I keep telling people it's important to heal. What happened in your past is supposed to stay there. You're supposed to learn from your past and deal with the present moment. Constantly remind yourself of this so you can choose a better response to your trigger. Some of y'all are so needy and so clingy, and you never give yourself space. And since you don't give yourself space, your trigger become overwhelming. Y'all gotta learn to take a step back and leave. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to avoid busting out with negative emotions. Sometimes you gotta get away. And for all of you couples out there, I'm gonna say it. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. For all of you couples out there, it's okay to take a self-care trip. Some of y'all can't never deal with your wounds or deal with your past or deal with any of your triggers because you always up somebody's ass crack. Yeah, I said it. It's okay to take care of self. It's okay to give yourself some space if you have been triggered. Some of y'all are in relationship with your trigger. Some of y'all are in a relationship with your trigger. Huh? Some of y'all won't date with a purpose. You don't do no kind of intimate conversations. You don't get to know that man or woman. Brittany Taylor is in the building. Some of y'all don't get to knowing them at all. So you dating your trigger. And if you date your trigger and don't give yourself no kind of space and no kind of time, it's only gonna eat you alive. Y'all gotta learn to take some alone time. Relax, take a damn deep breath. Your goal is to feel better and think of a better action plan when approaching your triggers. You are giving yourself some space to breathe and clear your head. Some of y'all can't never clear your head because you always up under their ass crack. Dealing with your triggers. If you feel negative emotions, practice positive actions. When a person experiences negative and strong emotions, they usually show negative responses as well. If you're lonely, you initially want to lock up inside your room and starve. Instead, you should practice showing positive actions. Don't lock yourself up. Go hang out with somebody that can put you in a better mood. Engage in activities that produce positive feelings. Clearing your head makes you deal with the triggers you create for yourself.
Yeah, talk to him.
Bars. You heard that, YouTube? You heard that, Facebook? Clearing your head makes you deal with the triggers you create for yourself. This is the one that's going to get y'all in trouble. If you truly want to deal with your triggers, you got to learn to communicate. Sometimes you got to open up. See, this is why it's so important before y'all jump into these relationships to actually date with a purpose. Because if you don't, you won't open up to that person. You don't feel vulnerable with that person. You don't truly trust that person. And if you can't open up to the person, you're dooming your situation. Sometimes you got to talk to the person that triggered you. Sometimes that person that triggers you is the person you lay in bed with every night. And since you don't open up about it, the situation keep repeating itself. You got to learn to communicate to yourself and your partner. You communicate to yourself by identifying what you feel. Examples. You got to name what you are feeling. Tell your partner, I feel so frustrated and angry right now. I don't feel that you are putting the same quality of effort as I do in a relationship. This triggers me. It pisses me off. I don't want to feel this way because I love you. What can we do about this? Now, you do have to consider that they might not be open communicators like you. So don't try to force them to open it up or explain their side to you. What's important is that you're able to bridge what you want to say. Lastly, I need y'all to truly seek professional help. And I mean that. That ugly stigma that we have on us, the ugly stigma that we have in the Black community, particularly, needs to go away. Be okay walking away from draining energy. People will adjust for what they want to work. They might not want it to. Hey, listen, when I was talking about energy vampires, people will literally drain you of everything you got in you. Literally. They will rip every ounce of positive energy out of you. And if you allow them to, they will drain you to the point of doomsday. Yeah, I said it. They will put you so far down that you can't recover. Well, you can recover, but will take ages to, because you're going to completely lose yourself. There is nothing wrong with walking away from people who is draining your energy. There's nothing wrong with walking away from somebody that's a trigger to you. If they don't respect your boundaries when you tell them, walk away. Stop giving people access to you that don't deserve access. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I miss Brittany. Brittany be spitting bars. Brittany, I got to start doing this show at night more or something. I miss Brittany. They will latch just to drain your good energy because they don't know how to create their own. Paul.
Yeah, talk to him.
What you say, Mr. Scraightup? Get your tag out of my face. What you say, Mr. Scraightup? He said bars. And let me tell you something. Energy vampires come in all shapes and sizes. Yeah, they do. Hey, well, you might be in luck because I got to do tomorrow's show at night too. Because I had some technical difficulties and they gave me a temporary solution, so I was able to stream tonight instead of in the morning. And tomorrow they're going to be here fixing the problem permanently, but it's going to be during the time I'm supposed to be live. So tomorrow night might be here too. so you get what I'm saying? So check this out, folks. Let me give y'all an example of how people can come into your life to drain your energy. This is a true story, okay? All I do is truth. So many people come to me all the time. Y'all know I started Entrepreneur's Corner, right? Started it back up because we no longer on Twitch. We on Facebook and YouTube now. We trying to grow on a bigger scale, right? So a lot of people not used to me yet, and that's cool. I expect that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep pounding and build it up the same way I built Twitch up, right? But I said, let me bring back Entrepreneur's Corner because I'm near and dear to Entrepreneur's Corner. I want to help entrepreneurs. So anybody who knows me knows that I literally say whatever comes to my mind. Period. So I did a show last week on Entrepreneur's Corner. Do you take your business seriously? Let me tell you something. I had 6 different people ask me, was I talking about them? I had wrote a post before the show just to give myself some pointers to not forget, right? I had 4 different people who's supposed to be regulars on the show write a bunch of subliminal messages. The crazy part is, if you truly know me, if Britt is still here, Britt know, I don't do no subliminal messages. I will be live and call your name out live. Period. I will tag you so that I make sure you hear it. That's how I rock. I've always been like that. So sometimes they see you doing good, so they want to do whatever they can to try to disturb what you're doing. So what I do, back in the days, I would leave them. What I do, I just block them. I ain't got time for that shit because I know me. I will end up saying something that I don't need to say. And this is what I mean by protect your energy. All right? If something comes into your life that doesn't need to be there, that disrupts your peace in any kind of way, not only can it be a trigger, but it can also be somebody coming in to drain you of your energy. Y'all got to stop allowing people listen, and the people y'all be allowing to disturb your energy, you don't even be knowing. Y'all be letting strangers on this little blue app, strangers on this little red app, because we on Facebook and YouTube, let me not leave the other route. Y'all be letting strangers on apps that y'all ain't never met disturb your whole peace. Make that make sense. I ain't never met you. I don't care if we have conversation or not. I've never met you. But bye. Y'all gotta learn to start telling people bye, man. Get people up out of your life, man, that ain't there for you. The second y'all start doing that, y'all will go farther and farther and farther. You will accomplish so much things when you learn to move people out of your life that don't need to be there. Okay? And you feel so much better once you did it. You know what I'm saying? You feel so good. You're like, that's one distraction gone. You know what I'm saying? So please, y'all, start paying attention to your triggers. Start paying attention to your energy. If your energy start to shift, take a step back, analyze it. What do I need to do to get myself positive? What do I need to get rid of to make myself positive? Because see, some of y'all, I'm about to say it. Some of y'all are living with the trigger. Some of y'all are living with the energy vampire. Yeah. And they draining your energy to the point where you can't focus on nothing that you want to focus on. If y'all truly want to, soar, if you truly about wanting better than yourself, the first thing you need to do is get rid of the energy vampires that are in your life. And I know it's easier said than done, because for some of y'all, these people been in your lives for ages. These people been in your lives since y'all was kids. You know what I'm saying? And some of y'all been married to that damn energy vampire for so long that you've gotten used to. Yeah, I'm about to go there. Some of y'all have been with that energy vampire for so long that you have got used to that person. So you can't let them go. But this is what I challenge y'all to do if you in that situation. I challenge you to take a day just for self. Right? Just one day. Just take one day for self. Just say, you know what? It's Saturday. This Saturday, I'm going to go up the block, rent me a hotel, and I'm going to just relax. And while you're relaxing, see how much calm and peaceful it is while you're not around that person. And then when you go back, pay attention to your mood the second you go back. If you go back and your mood is off, if you've been peaceful all this time and you go back and your mood is off, that's a key indicator that that person is not good for you. Stop, please, people. Stop letting people steal your peace. And some of y'all don't even know they stole your peace, but you will if you do what I just asked you to do. If you are experiencing them types of that type of the energy in the house feels off, if you're dating somebody and the energy feels off, I challenge you, just go take some time off to yourself. Okay? See how peaceful and calm it is, and then go back. When you go back, analyze your mood. And if your mood is off, it might be a sign that you got to walk away. Listen, y'all, this is an impromptu pop-up show because I didn't get to stream this morning. Tomorrow I might have to be here at night as well. But, I mean, it is what it is. I got done working on, I guess, one of the towers was messed up, so they gave me a temporary fix, so I was able to at least scream tonight. But I'm going to test it out tomorrow night, too, see what it do, because during the time of my show tomorrow, they're going to be fixing this so-called tower, so I won't be able to scream. So tomorrow night, probably at 7:30 again, we'll see what it do. It was a pleasure for all of you all who pulled up. I appreciate y'all. This is Scraightup Podcast. Get used to us. We ain't going nowhere. And I'm out.
Terrence Mitchell Beats.
Just give it to him raw, yeah, just like that. Go ahead and spit bars while you tip that hat. I ain't never seen a podcast like that, cause I built it from scratch, every part, no cap. But it's straight up, it can't be duplicated. It's too sophisticated, specifically designed. See, I got them yelling straight up. Straight up. Affirmations wake them up. Wake them up. I got them yelling straight up. Straight up. I spit bars and wake them up.